Kia ora te iwi and welcome to The Chew, coming at you from the studio here in Kāmuriwai, Arrowtown. Called Arrowtown Dad tēnei, and today we're chewing the fat with Mikey Found. Hey Mikey.
Hey mate, I was going to say morena, but that's not right, is it?
No.
Afternoon, how do we say? Just afternoon.
Ahi Mārie, but that's, it's a bit of a mouthful.
Isn't it just?
Just say kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. Nice, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, good to have you back. It's been a little while.
I was just thinking, it's been, since we were last on set, and that's June.
That was late. We finished up about August-ish. Did we finish up in? Yeah, we're still going in July.
Yeah. It's been that.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So yeah.
And so the subject of this chat. So heading back to when we were on set together. For those of you out there who didn't know, Mikey and I were on the TV show A Remarkable Place to Die. Yes, very famous TV show in New Zealand.
Huge.
Unfortunately, we were pretty much blurry background cops for the most part.
I believe that was more the cameraman. Not
focusing when they should
know how to
be.
use his gear.
Yeah,
and I was going to bring it up, but I didn't feel it was the right time.
So, our chat today is going to be about something that happened back around the time that we met on set on the TV show. We were looking at setting you up on TikTok.
Yeah. It was pre-setup. I didn't have TikTok. I didn't know anything about TikTok. I remember you were telling me how it sort of worked. It was like, what is this?
Yeah. So we set up Mikey a TikTok account, and Mikey came up with the name Mikey Found.
I think it was a collaboration. I don't think I could claim it as my own, but because we were just talking around that set table.
Yeah, right.
And it just bounced out. So Mikey Found was.
So Mikey Found is the name that that you pretty much came up with.
Yeah.
And now your surname is not Found. So
no,
it's actually Cook.
It is
so
indeed.
Which begs the question. So where did the name Mikey Found come from? And I'll hand over to you.
Whoa. Yeah, good question. So I guess it's preset really. The stage I was sort of in, I was sort of, how do you say? I was between employment at that stage.
Okay.
I'd come out of work. I was having some recovery time.
Yep.
Life was pretty full on. I've had some mental health issues in the last couple of years, so I was doing some heavy processing.
Yep.
A Remarkable Place to Die sort of was a random text from Tracy that I managed to pick up on, and that was just a moment where I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, and that's Tracy Patel, our common agent
Monarch
at
Models.
Monarch Models or
She's
Monarch
legend.
Agency.
Yeah. So and it's sort of. Yeah, just sort of, it all started really from there was, because I'm originally from Queenstown or from Arrowtown.
Yeah.
I'd been away for 9 years, hadn't really spent a lot of time back, but knew that through the series or the what we were doing, there might have been 2 or 3 trips to Queenstown to have some acting time.
Yeah.
But I guess from the minute I sort of walked in on set, it all sort of changed for me.
Changed in terms of kind of your personal situation or your personal mindset? Just
mindset sort of started to I guess, balloon out from what it was. I guess I was probably quite depressed in a way. But then coming back to Queenstown, the sunshine, the people, doing the work that we were doing, it sort of just...
Yeah, it was fun, eh?
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it just opened up a door again. And, the talks that we were having around, it was all sorts. Security and, what we used to do in Queenstown. And it just fired something up again for me. So,
cool.
Months later we finished as the most regular featured background cops.
Yeah, that's right.
In a TV series to this date, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not, I'm not sure. But so, and that's kind of where it sort of started. So Mikey Found sitting around the table, and it, I guess it sort of, it got shelved for a while. Concept wise, it was something I've always really wanted to dabble in with TikTok and find out how to get those views.
Yeah.
And
your TikTok account's doing pretty well now.
I think so.
You've sort of got the hang of it now, and
I've sort of worked out the flavour.
I
think that's important. I don't do a lot of video at the moment. It's more stills, and I guess just trying to create that mood of what I'm trying to do, and that's show that journey. I guess showing that mental health journey through my photos.
Right.
And it's essentially, I couldn't care less if people had a look or they didn't have a look. It's a platform that I go to catch up on. You flip through your own videos and go, oh, that's right. I'd love to have the set photos. Yeah. But obviously we can't have that sort of stuff there.
Actually, I might ask Tracy because I vaguely recollect that the instruction was nothing to be shared until after the production has been filmed.
Yes.
Not filmed, but has been delivered publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it'd be interesting because it'd be good to have some of that stuff up there. Cause
I'm pretty sure we're allowed to now. And man, that was fun.
That was awesome.
I had a great time. I've been on set at TV shows and stuff before, and but I've never had a connection with so many of the not just the cast, but also the crew as well.
Yeah, it was everybody, eh? Even I remember the girl who made the coffee, or she, the catering. She was cool.
Yeah.
But so anyway. So that's where it sort of started.
Yeah. And so the found implies that you've found yourself again. Is that the kind of
essentially? Yeah. It's sort of Mikey Found it. It's like essentially I've had 40 odd years of some struggle. I've had some awesome support this last 2 years, and I'm really starting to, I guess, find myself, so Mikey Found these photos, little videos. There's a lot more coming. It's my background is sales and marketing and management, so I want to sort of take those skill sets and sort of work those in. Essentially,
yeah, cool. And so has anything changed in your personal situation?
Yeah, probably quite a bit actually, since set anyway. So, recently separated from my wife of 25 years.
Wow.
So, temporarily.
Yep.
For now, we're sort of, both trying to find that common ground again.
Yep.
I guess as you do, you want to turn over every stone.
Yeah, for sure.
And you want to know that, if this is it, you both can walk. You both can part knowing you tried everything.
Yeah.
And there's no anger. There's no, there's been a lot going on. It's put a lot of stress on the relationship, and you know what, it is what it is,
Yeah, for sure.
We've sort of taken that time apart, and look, to be honest, I'm loving it. Being up here this last, 3 days, 4 days, and I just wouldn't go home. And just reconnecting with what Arrowtown has.
Yeah, right.
And it just, just walking around these last couple of days, shooting into town, Buckingham Square there, that's my we go to at the moment, and getting a coffee and just people watching, and just dawned on me that, this is what I felt. This is today, actually. This is what I felt in 2006 when I first moved to Arrowtown.
Yeah, right.
However, that very quickly I very quickly let that get taken away.
Right.
through that, that, I guess, that gold digging town mentality that I don't know if it's there much today. I don't know. I fell into it in a big way, I guess, when I was here. So,
Yeah.
my focus was always work. I was in real estate
Yeah.
for a good portion of it. And then, following real estate, I travelled for work. So I was a lot of national travel and didn't really spend a lot of time here and focused more on providing the dollar to stay here more than enjoying why I came here. So this weekend's been it's been cool.
It's been good, eh? And we've had good weather, man. So it's sort of
Awesome weather.
Yeah, it's Arrowtown's turning it on like it always does.
It
you know?
does. Knew I was coming.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg loved it. He's,
Yeah.
I was saying to you just yesterday, Arvo, and today he's really he's as settled as what I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good sign that, hey, I've had a good weekend. Snoop's settled.
Yeah.
I'm feeling settled. I haven't been asked to leave yet. What is the time? Getting close. No.
Yet.
No. But yeah, and I guess that's essentially, I use essentially a lot, but, the Mikey Found is really going to probably start coming out with some content and little videos of, this is where I'm at and I don't know, I'm just going to let it sort of flow.
Yeah, right. So, you just touched on quickly about the separation. So, so where does that leave you now? So what's your current situation?
Current situation is, well, it's funny because when I left, again, I'm doing a lot of processing at the moment.
Yeah.
So, I could have gone and got another rental property and kitted it out and blew a lot of money. But what was important to me was living in a tent, In a tent.
Wow.
Of all things. I wanted to go back to basics.
Go back. Wow, that's going back to
100%.
basics.
Yeah. Find out what is important to me.
Yeah.
I've been doing it a month and a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what's important to me is warmth, the ability to cook, and have a roof over your head. And I've been in that space for about a month and a half now.
Yep.
Winter's kicked in, and all of a sudden I'm wanting to amp that warmth up.
Yeah, I bet.
But that's fine. I've had plans drawn for a little cabin, little 30 square meter cabin I'm going to build on the corner of a friend's land actually, and I'm going to base there, and I want to be off the grid. The only power I want is the power to charge my tablet and real basic stuff.
Yep.
I just want to cook. I want to be warm. I want to have a decent shower, and I'm going to do that for 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's going to be interesting. So the videos and that's what the content's going to be. Is,
great. Follow your journey. Document your journey.
Yeah. It'll be
the ups and the downs.
All of it,
I'm sure
bro.
You'll go through both.
Yeah, and it's not a woe is me or a like I said at the start, I couldn't care less if anyone liked it, visited it, or never saw it.
So where is it then?
It's on TikTok.
No.
The land.
Where you are.
I'm down probably about 10-15 minutes outside of Gore, heading back towards Queenstown. Yep. Yeah, so sort of I'm there. There's a little piece of land I've sort of spied, which ticks a lot of boxes, which I'm going to look at purchasing, and I'll have the cabin shifted there when I'm done. And got some sort of irons in the fire with that, and I like to sort of dabble and quite entrepreneurial. So was thinking in the weekend, maybe it's not so bad for me to live between two places for a while,
Yeah.
Outskirts of Gore, which I love. It's scenic. It's there's 5.5 acres of manicured grounds,
Yeah.
which I mow the lawns for in return for my site.
Oh, right.
So it's really cool. It's,
Right.
you know, and, you know, I'm not. Like I said, I could have gone and, you know, still to this day, it's like, oh, I'd love to go back to a home or a house, you know, but I was thinking, no, actually, I want to go back to my tent because then I want to reconnect with, you know, those basic things that mean the most to me right now.
Yeah.
You know, not, oh, my Spotify, you know, playlist or the next Western movie that's coming out or whatever it is. It's
Hey,
just,
that Western movie was good, man.
it was good. And
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna double down on that. It had me, but yeah, I just want to know what's important to me before I start bolting things on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at a really special time, I guess, where, well, not because I'm separated or, you know, I'm grassroots. You know,
Yeah.
I'm, you know, I'm not going back into the career that I had for 30 years. You know, that was corporate and you know, airplanes, hotels, and life on the road. I've got no time, no interest in that. Something that sort of spins my wheels at the moment is growing blueberries.
Nice.
Yeah, just having a wee blueberry farm and, you know, doing that and then coming up here every couple of months, or I don't know. It's, you know, a lot of people have been saying to me, "World's your oyster, Mike,"
Yeah, yeah.
and it really is.
It is.
It really is. So I'm looking forward to the next 12 months.
Mm.
You know, there's going to be some, you know, some low times, but I think the high times are going to be a lot more. So
Yeah.
I'm excited by it, really.
Yep.
As much as I'm probably not sounding too excited.
No, you sound excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
It's cool, and I got people around me. You know, yourself and oh, there's no one else actually. No,
No,
Oh, there's
no,
Caroline,
you've got plenty.
Arrowtown mum, and what a mum she is. But no, I've got good support, and you know, to do this on your own without the support, that would be hard. That would be really hard. But I'm actually in a privileged position, I feel. So, you know, I'm going to seize it and, you know, see what happens in 12 months' time.
That's cool, man. You know,
Yeah.
like it's great having that, you know, your world open up and you have opportunities that you just don't know what's coming, eh? You know, I went through something similar when I also separated from my first wife. Yeah.
How many wives have you had?
Just the one.
You make it
Just
sound
the
like
one.
7.
I've only had one crack at it, mate, and yeah, I didn't do a very good job of it. So yeah, it's sort of
It's hard though, eh?
yeah, oh, for sure.
It's hard.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, the hardest thing about it is finding compatible personalities. You know, that's what I find about the hardest thing about a marriage.
Yeah.
Because you know, you've got to live with one person for, well, you got to spend so much time with them. You know that your personalities have to match in some way in order for you to be able to survive that. You know,
I would agree.
Oh,
I'm no professor on it. I obviously didn't make it work very well, but
you know, a lot of us don't, mate. You
Yeah.
know, it's unfortunately it's more common than uncommon.
it is. Yeah.
To
And
go
there's no
through.
shame in it now. There's no shame. There's
No, I mean it is what it is, right?
we're adults, right?
Yeah, I think. See, we're both kind of. I'm going to just flat out say we're both kind of old. You know.
You are older.
Yeah. I mean, old in a sense that we've lived a life.
Yeah.
We've come out with the scars, the baggage, whatever you want to call it, and you know, these sort of things that you, in hindsight, you would do differently, maybe. You know, or there's decisions that you would make that you wouldn't be so rash with making when you were younger. So, you know, there's a lot of maturity to be gained just purely from age and experience. And, you know, I would probably certainly have done things differently if I knew what I knew now. So,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
yeah, you know, it's tough, man. For all you people out there that have one marriage for the whole of your lives, and you're happy, and it's a perfect marriage, you are the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Because statistics say that's not the it's not the or it's more the exception than the rule.
Yeah, seems to be. Yeah, like I say, I'm still trying to process through that at the moment, and it's still pretty recent, fresh. So interesting times.
Yeah, bro. So I'm going to get onto a touchy subject,
Oh.
maybe, or we're allowed to just not talk about it at all. So yeah, understand you went through some mental health stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not touchy. Yeah, no, mental health has not been great, actually. Actually, the last few months have been awesome. Really, like I said, I've had that support around me and doing the processing, doing the work. So, yeah, but essentially, I was diagnosed with PTSD last year. So it's been a journey of looking into the past and seeing PTSD working, I guess. That's been really hard, but it's been, I'm a wee way through the process now, and it's great.
Yeah.
You can actually see there's a lot more positives than negatives, and I don't see having a mental illness as a negative anymore.
It's really common,
Superpower. I see it as my superpower now.
Yeah.
There's things I can work out in my head a lot faster than
Yeah.
someone else with not PTSD can. That's for
Well,
sure.
there shouldn't be any stigma attached to this because
there's not.
mental health is quite prevalent all throughout society, and it affects everyone from young right
It
through,
does, yeah.
right to
Yeah.
old. Yeah.
Yeah, but the and look, I don't want to say struggled because it's just been what I've known. And look, I've chased a lot of things trying to work out, what was wrong with me. And the one thing that the best thing that's helped has been my therapist or my counsellor, and it's talking therapy.
Right.
It's all we've done for 2 years is talk, and it's been phenomenal. I look forward to the next however long I've got there talking with him, because I leave those sessions every week going, whoa, now that I'm out of that sort of darkness period, where you just everything's on you and you're just trying to work out which way's up.
Yeah.
It's just talking. So yeah, it's for me. It would be, if you need to talk to someone, if you need to talk to someone, suck it up and go and talk to someone.
Yeah, would that be advice that you
Absolutely,
would give to people going through
yeah.
some stuff?
Yeah, it's not a scary. Well, it is scary actually, because it took me years to, I'm not going to the counsellor. Well, what's talking going to do? But actually, if you're looking for the silver bullet, to me that's the silver bullet.
Yeah, right.
And I guess it won't work for everybody.
Yeah.
But I've got years and years and years of trying, to find it, and all sorts of different doors I've walked through and roads I've gone down. But you know what? Just the talking's done it all.
So how long would you say you've been affected by it? Not so much when did you start, or when was the diagnosis made, but it's more, when do you think the whole thing started? Like, how far back do you think it goes?
I guess 2013 was when the body said no more.
Wow, that's 12 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a long time.
Long time. So I burnt out in 2013, fairly significant. And the support at the time was probably, it is what it was.
Do you think it was lacking at the time?
No, I just think it was in line with what was there. I mean, I think mental health's probably grown. It's grown a lot over the last 10 years.
Yeah, the focus on it, eh?
Absolutely.
It's just,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the suicide rate. New Zealand's got an absolutely abhorrent
It's ridiculous.
suicide rate, hey?
But anyway, so 2013 and I wouldn't say. It's very hard for a doctor to give you a diagnosis in 15 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Really
for sure.
hard. So, you know what, things got missed, and it is what it is. And, you know, from what I know now, I should have had 9 to 12 months off recovery. But, you know, I was back at work in 3 weeks. And the sad thing to that was, you know, I had another 4 over 13 years. You know, in total, I had 5 burnouts. And it wasn't until my last one in 22 that I learnt that you should have 9 to 12 months off recovering after a burnout. So I guess for me, you know, that last 12 months has been pretty brutal, but needed it, had to have it. So
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna admit something here that I've never really talked about myself.
Whoa.
But I had burnout.
Yep.
I was diagnosed with a form of depression.
Mm-hmm.
Went on happy pills.
Yep.
And this was like 2010, 2009. I'm going to say 2009. So. You know, you talk about the 9 to 12 months off. So I was living, me and my family were all living in Macau, China at the time, when it happened. So part of my fixing it, I suppose, was getting out of the industry I was working in, because it was like crazy busy.
Yeah.
Came back to New Zealand. It coincided with a family tragedy, so I came straight back.
Yeah.
Supported my mum at the time, and I actually took a year off.
Yeah, nice, bro.
I didn't take a doctor's required year off.
Yeah.
I took I need a year off.
Yeah.
I want a year off. I want to give my energy back to my mother in particular, and my family back on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And so I did that. I just took a year off and just bummed around the house, you know, slept in a single bed and went fishing every day. Nice. And, you know, it was just me and mum. I just crashed at the family home. So, and it's interesting that you're mentioning all this, bro, because I don't know. I found a formula that worked for me, and going back and taking that 12 months off was extremely important.
Yeah. But how much of the 12 months did you spend trying to stay in where you were mentally?
Stay in
So obviously you left Macau.
Yep.
You had family tragedy, you came home.
Yep.
You obviously didn't want to cast your mind back to Macau mindset, like everything's go, 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 go.
No.
So you cashed out.
Oh yeah, well, after I got diagnosed, and then got on these happy pills. I just called them happy pills. I don't even know what they are. They weren't Prozac, but they were something.
Yeah.
And those man, I would recommend, if anyone has any kind of mental health issues, like, you know, bad ones, I suppose, and a doctor recommends that you take something. I was a very anti kind of medication person. I'm just not into taking pills.
Yep.
But I listened this time and took it. And after I think it was about 6 or 7 weeks before it took effect, and what I found was it lifted this cloud of thinking.
Yeah.
And it made me really, really happy for some reason that makes no sense to me at the time. I'm like, why do I feel so happy? I'm like, that's why I call them happy pills. So what I realized is I could see where the damage was coming from. I could see where the stress was coming from, and where all this craziness of my burnout life. I could see it so clearly after the pills had lifted the fog.
Yes.
And I immediately said, I need to get out of this. Like, that is the answer to this problem. I have to get myself out of it. Because when I was in it, I was coming up with ways that I could navigate the problems of stress. Yeah. And I could do this, I could do this. But when I finally got that fog lifted, I realized the only way to fix it was to get out of it completely.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting you use the word fog, right? Because it is like a fog.
Yeah, it's not a fog in terms of confusion.
No, it's more of a visual. You can't see.
Yeah, it's like a tunnel visioned approach. It's like all you see is this.
Yeah,
You don't see that. And
Yeah.
and the happy pills helped me to realize that what I was the way I needed to look at it needed to be here,
Yeah.
not just here. I
Yeah.
just kept seeing everything through tunnel vision, going, I see a little problem, I'll navigate it this way, I'll navigate it that way. But really, it wasn't until I saw that I went, oh wow,
Yeah.
I need to get out of this completely.
Yeah.
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 So, sorry, man, this was supposed to be about you,
I was gonna say it's like, whoa.
but you,
Back to you in the studio, Mike.
it was the there was something that you said that triggered the thoughts of me. The 12 months.
Yeah.
So when you just said then that you should have been given 9 to 12 months off, I just immediately put myself back at that time and went, I took 12 months off. Maybe that's why I came out of it so good. Because
But you changed direction too.
Totally.
You didn't go back
Totally.
into where I kept going back into, which
yeah, well, not quite. I did go back into the industry because I got
okay.
headhunted to go back into the industry.
Right, okay.
And they offered me so much money I couldn't help it. So I went back into it for 6-9 months, and then I realised what I'd done and got out again.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, you still had that realization and you bolted. So
Yeah. And this time I refused to go back into the industry, and I'm the better for it.
Yeah.
Of course, I met my lovely wife now, so that made all the difference as well.
That's right. Oh, it's just, what's the price you put on happiness?
Yeah, man. So far out. This is a pretty heavy chat. I don't usually have heavy chats like
No,
this.
I'm feeling a little bit stalled dropping that, but because it's not something I guess I talk about openly. You really got to pick your people you talk to, but no, that's a fair. I think that's really good advice. I think for people going through something. I think if someone says to you, "Oh, mate, it's." Hey, it'll be all right. Just carry on. That's the time you punch them in the face. Not really, but they're not giving you the right. They're not listening to you.
I'll tell you, the people you want to avoid is the ones that say, "Just suck it up," or "Just get over it, would you?"
Punch them in the face.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how they've managed their issues.
No, well, one thing I learned is that the whole diagnosis of depression is in itself something of an irrational, sort of manifested thing, because you're putting irrational thoughts on stuff that to people who aren't going through it go, well, that doesn't make sense, or just do that. Just what are you worried about? If you're crying, just go and make yourself happy. Just go and do something. And there's always more to it than that. It's never as simple as, well, just suck it up. I've had a couple of bad times before. What's wrong with you? You get the people who'd give you that kind of stuff.
They're in every camp really. But
so I think perfect advice, bro, is that you've got to find someone who you can talk to that genuinely maybe either understands or cares.
Totally, yeah. But someone who can actually call you out on your own bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
that's important.
Yeah,
that was for me. That was important. I've learnt about what we call firemen. Those are the boys we use to turn the fire, the hose on to put out a fire. But actually, what we're doing is, we're avoiding dealing with something.
Yep.
And that fireman could be the alcohol, it could be the drugs, it could be the whatever it is.
you use to douse the flames.
Yeah. And I love the fact that my firehouse is damn near empty. I don't need those chaps. Like I said, I went for a walk this morning. I just get lost in my own time, really.
Cool. That's great.
I'm with Snoop, birds are chirping, I'm by the river, or I'm by the hills.
Birds are chirping.
Life's
I love
good,
a chirping bird.
And I like saying that. Life is good.
Yeah.
But to have my good life, I had to walk away from the shit that was causing the issues. I'm not putting my marriage in that. That's
No,
separate.
your marriage gets affected by it.
Does, bro.
Because that's what happened in my case, you know.
Yeah, I fully believe that,
Yeah.
you know, the 90% of the issues were because I wasn't able to process my issues.
Or the stress of your work life.
Yeah,
or
totally. Yeah. And it's a two-way street. It's,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, like I said, it's early days on that one. I'm still trying to process through.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
And look, I hope to, you know, to be able to put it back together.
Yeah.
So
So this is Mikey Found.
Mikey Found, yeah.
He's been found.
Well, it's, you know, Mikey Found used to wear a suit, you know.
A suit.
A suit. It was what he wore for work. Yeah.
Last time I wore a suit was when I pushed the eject button from my from that industry I was in.
Yeah, doesn't it feel good? I burnt mine. I fucking burnt it.
Well,
I'm not wearing another one.
well, the suit didn't bother me, and it was the funniest thing is the next job that I got was an IT job doing the same kind of IT work I was doing, and I rocked up to my interview in a suit.
Yeah.
Because I'd always been suited, you know, going to work. And the owner of the business, he was the owner of the small business that was looking at hiring. You know, he pretty much said I had the job. So, but at the end of the thing, he goes, "I hope you're not fucking turning up in that suit on Monday."
Yeah.
And I'm like, What's wrong with the suit? He goes, "We don't wear fucking suits around here."
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes.
It's dropped out now, I think, the old suits. I think we dropped the tie. The tie was the first thing to go.
Yeah.
And that was a few years ago, or a number of years ago now. And that was like, heaven, not having to wear that choking fucking tie.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't have to. I'm not wearing it. I'm shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
If I wear socks,
I mean, I'll wear polos. I don't mind wearing a polo
like polo.
in a semi-formal occasion.
Yeah.
I will wear a dress shirt and a sports jacket. I refuse to wear ties now, but
I don't know. No, ties are not good.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll wear a sports jacket, but I pretty much wear jeans all the time. Yeah.
Jeans, shorts, whatever the weather's
Yeah,
dictating on the day.
Yeah. So, what do you think the future holds for Mikey Found?
I have no plans. I really don't know. You know, I'd like to. I'm going to travel a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to hit the US. I've been there once before and loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, loved it.
Fuck, I'd never go near the place at the moment.
Oh no! See, we were off the beaten track, so
yeah, right.
we were in the small towns, and it was just magic. So
Yeah.
I'd love to go
I'd
there
get
again.
mistaken for a Mexican. They'd fucking lock me up and try and deport me to Mexico.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's not. It could work.
Hey, going near the place.
I'll take
man.
over the show while you're being detained. Funny. Yeah, so a little bit of travel, and I'd actually like to do a wee bit of travel around New Zealand, you know, and look at my own backyard. Now that I've sort of got the abilities to have that time, I'm going to use it and get out there and enjoy life, meet people and hear their stories and share my own story.
Yeah, cool, man.
You know, hug a tree.
You are a personable guy. Like
I've been told this.
Yeah, you're an easy guy to strike up a conversation with.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
you're hard work to go wandering around because you stop and talk to everyone that walks past, mate.
It is cool. But at least I don't go asking anyone out on dates or things, because that'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
That'd be terrible. That'd be just flat creepy, man.
Oh, 47-year-old man. Don't ask 22-year-olds out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Cool.
So that's, I guess that's me in a nutshell.
Nice one, man.
I look forward to our next chew.
Yeah, cool.
Because, you know, there's a bit of development going on, and,
Nice.
and I should be at a fairly comfortable point.
Awesome.
So,
well, we look forward to what the next stage of Mikey Found brings.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah. But you're going to be doing more content as well?
Yeah, so, you know, I've got some video ideas. I've got a collab idea I pitched to you earlier that could work. And I just want to play on TikTok, you know. There's a lot of bullshit on TikTok. And
yeah, it's cool, man. I love it.
I scroll through a lot of it, but I just like content. I like creating a little bit of content, and if it helps someone out, happy days.
I like the thing I like about TikTok is if you don't vibe with anything immediately, it's just a swipe.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't
Yeah.
have to force yourself to watch anything.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you do watch, some of it's really thought provoking, man. And some of it's funny. I just love the comedy on TikTok.
Yeah.
Absolutely love
I
it.
found because I'm only I'm a freshling to the TikTok world, but
No, it's been a year now. Come on.
okay, so it's been a year, but I have found
No, sorry, it hasn't been a year.
you've got to be careful which rabbit hole you go down because
Yeah,
you're just
for
going to
sure.
get more and more of the same shit. And sadly, I went down the Brian Tamaki rabbit hole.
What, the anti-Brian Tamaki or the pro?
The anti side of things. And
I thought you were going to say you're about to join the church.
no, I went there once. Now that's a chew. Purely shits and giggles because I'd seen this chap on telly and he was in the media a lot. This is going back a number of years now, and I was in Auckland at the time. And Sunday morning had rolled over, and I was like, I want to go and see what Brian Tamaki's up to. That was an eye opener, bro.
Yeah,
that
man.
was. Yeah, that's scary for me, but good luck to him.
Yeah, each their own.
Yeah,
But social media, you're right, it's a bit of a rabbit hole.
It is,
You can get stuck down the drain pipe sometimes, and for some people it's really hard to get out.
yeah.
And
But
for
it's the algorithms that keep giving you the same. So I actually stopped mine, and I was putting in kittens, dogs, scenic views, just to clean it out, and then I'll go and put something else in there and see what happens.
Yeah.
Time will
Yeah,
tell.
I'm lucky because my whole, not just my persona on TikTok, but also my interests are all around feel good stuff.
Yeah.
Like cat stuff. I just get such a kick out of watching cats doing stupid stuff. I like Māori content, plenty of that there.
Yeah,
I like dad jokes, plenty of that there.
Lots of that there.
Yeah. I like Indigenous things, so not just Māori related, but First Nations people stuff in the US as well, in US and Canada.
Yeah.
The Aboriginal stuff in Australia. It's great, man. It just opens up a world of interesting things to think about. Yeah. But right, so that pretty much wraps up this episode, bro. You got any last comments about the new entity that is Mikey Found?
Not really. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
But it's a process. It's a journey. I don't even know what this is going to look like. I'm just gonna do. So
Just do the do.
we'll see what happens. Viral by midnight.
Oh, cool. Oh, well, on that note, bro, we'll wrap it up. So, hey, look, if you guys enjoyed any of that, the deep stuff, the lighthearted stuff, please pop us a like down in down the bottom there. Just click on the old thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time on The Chew. Mā te wā.
Thanks, guys.